Alright, so we have the white pieces and we're going to be playing pawn to e4 for this match. We're going to be understanding the mindset that you need to have in chess games. And just watch. I'll be putting out the formula. Everything that you need to know to win your games more consistently. Now here my opponent played pawn to d6 and I'm going to respond with pawn to d4. So in the starting phases of the game, you want to actually get center control. So here, I normally recommend putting at least one pawn in the center and then just proceed with getting your minor pieces developed. So in chess, your minor pieces are your two knights, your two bishops. This works at all levels, guys. You know, goes pawn to g6. And here, again, just developing the pieces. Knight to f3. And I'm expecting bishop to g7. So also, I don't want any pieces to cross this area of the board for me. So if I don't have any of my opponent's pieces in my half of the board, I don't really have to worry about defending. So here, just to stop any pieces from getting to g4 in the future, I'm just playing this preparatory move, pawn to h3, and I'm just going to continue again with my development. So remember, you don't want pieces to cross into your half, like you don't even have to worry about defending. Then at the same time, you're going to be getting your pieces to active squares by developing your minor pieces, and now I'm simply getting my king to safety. So let's go. He's going to play bishop to b7, I'm assuming. So here he's playing a double fianchetto. And this is, it's okay. Like at this point in chess, everything can be played. So I could actually consider playing pawn to d5 to shut it down, but I'm looking for better moves. So in other words, when you see a good move in chess, try to look for a better one. Alright? Now I'm gonna just get my bishop to a more active square, which is not really active, but it was on e2. I'm just gonna like protect it now with the bishop, putting it on d3. And I'm gonna like put my other bishop either to g5 or to f4. So he goes now knight c6, and this is definitely telling me that I need to actually push pawn to d5. No, like his bishop is gonna be boxed out. And the thing is, I'm getting it with tempo now. So before, I was looking at playing pawn to d5, but already, when your opponents are giving you like a free move in chess, like you just take it. It's called a tempo. So d5, I'm getting my plans, and it's like it's my turn to play again. Now, here, the reason why the tempo is so important is because even though his bishop is currently boxed in, he can actually use pawn breaks to, again, help his pieces be more active in the game. So I'm going to play this move now, knight to e2. And when he plays c6 or e6, I'm going to reinforce the center with this move, pawn to c4. So he now goes knight to d7. He's going to reroute the knight to c5, I'm assuming. Not really like a bad plan. I'm going to put the pawn to c4 nonetheless. If he goes knight to c5, I'm just going to put my knight on c3. And what do we have here? We have the center. We have this bishop that is currently boxed in. And we were actually in the moment asking him if he wants to take off my bad bishop. Now, a bad bishop in chess is basically when all or most of your pawns are on the same color square as that same bishop. So he didn't take it, so I'm gonna still take the chance to actually remove it. Bishop pairs are super important in chess, but at that specific moment I was actually again asking him if he wanted the bishop here, but it would be my bad bishop. So he now goes pawn to e6, and remember, he wants this pawn break to actually help his pieces. If I take, both his rook and his bishop gets access towards that e-pawn. So I'm going to just develop instead. So I didn't complete my development, I'm just developing now. And this is now the time where I start to up the trash talk, because this person doesn't even know what is about to hit him. The middle game is all about improving your pieces. So why does this man have dead pieces? We'll never know. So bishop to h4, I want to keep the pressure. So this bishop is putting pressure on my opponent's half. You want to keep those pieces, all right? So plays pawn to e5, just like this. He has like this knight putting pressure in my area of the board. He doesn't want me to, again, think of kicking it in the future. That being said, I will play a3 to play b4 in the future. I'm just looking again to see if there's a better move currently. If there's not, we go a3. This is to really play pawn to b4 in the future. Could even look to play like my rook to b1 and really push that pawn down the board. So we're pushing back our opponent's pieces. So you want our pieces to go forward while we're pushing back our opponent's pieces. Now, he plays bishop to a6. I'm not really a fan of this. We always check the drawback of our opponent's last move before we continue with ours. So what's the drawback? Here, after I play b4, this a file would have been opened. No, because this a file is closed, I'm going to be playing pawn to b4, and I'm hitting the knight. So persons normally wonder, like, what's better, like 2 pieces or a rook? I am here to clear all doubts. If you don't believe it's a rook, reevaluate your chess. It is 100% of the times a rook if it's just like a fear fight. 2 pieces will always beat 1. If it's an equal position and somebody just gives you like 2 pieces for a rook, 2 pieces, better guys. If there's like compensation and your 2 pieces are like super passive, that's a different scenario. We don't enjoy those. So let me now put my bishop on d3 to just simply protect the pawn. I already explained to you guys the difference between like overextending and taking space. For persons who are more or less I would call it like they're like what's the word I'm looking for, guys? They don't know as yet. Like b5, even though it's taking space currently for the bishop, it is slipping, or it's actually helping your opponent's pieces to actually again slip through the cracks. So again, with space, you're supposed to be restricting pieces. Overextending is when you're allowing pieces to again slip through. So it goes now g5. I mean, do I take it? Nah. It's gonna go knight h5, for sure though. It's gonna be attacking this knight and this bishop here. So it's at least winning the bishop here, which is good. It's good. Let's go rook here, and if he takes, I have the open file for my rook. But again, the good news for him, he's gonna get the bishop here. So I could even pre-move it, but just for like educational purposes, we're going to be seeing where he takes, then I calmly recapture. So no pre-moves. All right, we're gonna realize again that we have the open file. The drawback of white's position right now is this bishop on d3. It is absolutely passive, and remember, in the middle game we want our pieces as active as possible. Now, as what basically what I've seen at the lower levels is that persons help their opponents to develop their pieces. So in other words, if my opponent plays pawn takes e6 right now, he would have solved my bishop. In chess, you want to improve your pieces while boxing out your opponents. So this move, even though it activates black's rook, it's an automatic move for most persons, but it is actually helping white's worst piece in the game. So he now goes bishop back to b7. This is an indication that he wants to take and activate his rook. Activate his rook on the a file. I have 3 minutes, so I have to speed up a bit. I'm gonna be tucking my bishop back. This, I want to actually just like force the pawn push, guys. Could also, no, this is actually super interesting. I need to be like really careful here. I'm gonna force this. I'm gonna try to like get my queen on the long diagonal and push pawn to e5. Like this is gonna be the star of this entire game. Like whether I can push e5 or not and activate this piece. The same reason why he doesn't want to take. It's the same reason why I don't want to take on e6. Like it doesn't make any sense that I activate his rook while my bishop stays watching this pawn. Think of chess as active versus passive pieces. I just spoke to you guys about tempo moves. If he plays rook to a3, I'm gonna be able to put a piece in my opponent's half of the board while taking a tempo off this rook. So this is the reason why he's not really playing that move quickly. So here, what is black supposed to be looking to do? The same thing. He needs to be looking at his pieces that are not doing anything and start putting it into the game to actually put pressure on my position. So that's what he's doing. He's now putting his bishop back on a6. So talk to me, guys. Do I go bishop back to d3 and make my bishop passive again? Or do I improve with the queen and actually wait for black to take on d5? I want this. I need pawn takes d5 and these pieces just come to life. And most importantly, if this e5 move is possible, I will indeed play it. His bishop, I don't want to play pawn to a6. This is what we call one move ideas. It's allowing pieces to slip through the cracks. Do not practice overextending. So this man takes a bullet and actually puts his pawn on e5 and kills 1, 2, 3 pieces. e5 I would not do. It's like a double punch. He's boxing up my pieces as well. But now my F file is super fantastic. I'm gonna play this move now, knight to h2. I'm gonna like plant something on the f5 square, whether it be my queen, my knight, any piece you can get to weaknesses in your opponent's area is normally a good plan in the middle game phase of the game. So knight to h2, and remember, I'm not happy with my bishop being on b1, so in the future I could even look to swing my bishop to h5. It's always looking ahead up the board and improving your pieces. So goes knight to f6 to stop knight to g4. Really good move from my opponent, and I need to really reactivate my bishop. So I'm going to play bishop to c2, but I'm going to swing my bishop back to d1 and then place my knight on the g4 square. So I'm going to be controlling that square maybe with a bishop, but that square needs to be controlled by some piece. We could always remaneuver this knight to f5. A lot of plans here for white. Let me go bishop back to d1. I'm going to put this here. Takes, and then the final piece is going to be knight to d1 and then to f5. Now for beginners this might look extremely complicated, which is why we could actually have like another super breakdown. He goes there. Alright guys, we're going to be learning so much. Do I want to give this up and triple my pawns? Because you guys have been taught that double pawns are bad. You're going to be learning some more stuff today. So look at this. Bishop here. And you're going to be seeing, if he takes it, we're going to like learn so much today, guys. What are true weaknesses in chess? Like my bishop had no life on b3. I am now putting my bishop on here to triple my pawns. And what is a weakness in chess? I know a weakness is a weakness if you can attack and exploit it. So like right now, f5 is extremely weak. It's a weakness because I can get pieces there. Like it's a full-on weakness. b7 for black right now is what we call a weak square. Like it's not necessarily like a full-on weakness as yet. It's potentially going to be weak, but like a full-on weakness if we can get access to it. So if my bishop was like on c6 and like squeezing those squares, doomed. My put pawns, they're actually going to be helping with a lot of stuffs in this game. I'm going to actually be capturing back with a pawn. Or do I want the knight? Let me use knight. Just for fun. Let me use the knight. Oh, is he going to play f5? I should have used the pawn, guys. Alright, this is my only mistake. I should have used the pawn. But is he strong enough to find pawn to f5? Does he know about pawn breaks? Does he watch my YouTube videos? I highly doubt it. Plus, if he plays f5, I would just pretend as if I see nothing and bring my knight back to e3. So, everything is under control, guys. That was just a small scare. And I have a minute and 42 seconds on my clock to demonstrate class. So, everything is back to normal. We're now learning another positional principle of chess, which is what we call the good knight versus the bad bishop. Now, here we have this knight that is going to contest that piece. Let me just plant a rook into f4, let the rook pay some rent on f5. And I'm going to be putting this piece again on e6 in the future. So let me just do as I'm talking about right now. So like here, what if he like starts to like get a little ambitious? I need to actually maneuver these pieces like professional. Alright, so knight. I need a breakthrough point. Like this bishop can't just sit on e7 and just chill. So I'm gonna maneuver the pieces some more, guys. Look at this. Just watch. We have a minute and 14 seconds, but that is too much time. But maneuvers. Knight to e3. Then rook back. Knight to f5. The knight is what I wanted to be on that screen in the first place. Remember that my rook on f5 is just temporarily. Like it's just paying rent. The minute it moves out, as we're gonna see right now, I could even put it on f3. Yes, the rook moves out. Then the new tenant will now land itself on the f5 square. I'm going to be doubling my rook. Oh my god, this one is like killing my phone. Let me go here. I'm still again. Is he going to like try to sacrifice some material? He could. Because this knight, the minute it lands on f5, it's goodbye, guys. It's GG. 58 seconds to my opponent, 1 minute and 52 seconds. For every 1 second that I have, it's worth 4 of his seconds. So in other words, he will be the one running out of time. Now, knight to f5. So see, my pawns are tripled. But, like, what's happening? I'm gonna be, we worry about activity in chess, guys. This is what we call a portable pawn. It can like move up and down. Backward. It can't do anything in the game. My pieces, like he's gonna take care, obviously. Like there's nothing else. But knight to f5. If he gives me this move, he will indeed regret his life choices. Now, let us see. He's now burning. I told you guys. One of my moves is worth. Holy smokes. How did he find that? I'm still putting it there though. I am putting it there. Let's take it. And then, queen! The knight is protecting the pawn. The queen is attacking the g4 pawn. The rook is going to infiltrate on the h file in the future. No, he finally moves his bishop back and understands that he's in pain. Queen takes g4. I'm expecting queen to h7 here because he cannot afford to lose his queen with knight h6. He now makes the mad move queen to h5, and then we're now slipping into these light squares. We're now understanding what a weakness is in chess. It is what you can actually attack and exploit, guys. These are weaknesses because literally his king is just there and the feeder master of Jamaica is knocking on the door. Now, let us give him this fantastic check. Not from the bank. And we need to get this piece involved now. So, check. What the check, guys? Alright, if he goes here, then we have this. We're just testing it. He doesn't, if he failed the test. He failed the test, guys. He should have went to h8 and then have like repeated and maneuvered some more. But he has failed my test. And unlike my subscribers who passed all my tests, remember, guys, if you want a session, just book through my website. He has now sacrificed the queen. We're going to take the gift given to us and now just protect that e3 square. We're going to be collecting more gifts, man. Like, we have 16 seconds, but that is too much time for this position. I've even told you guys earlier that this man would have lost on time, but you guys did not believe. You did not believe. I am a feeder. What's a check? Another pawn takes. Another check. Oh, I'm in check. Crap. Let's go here. Oh, I have 4 seconds. I have 4 seconds. Crap. Push. Takes. Check. Takes. 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 Push. 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 Am I losing? I'm losing. No. Guys. No. Oh, no.